The emergency lights pulsed crimson, casting long, distorted shadows across the Chronarium Laboratory. Thorne stumbled back from the observation console, sweat plastering his hair to his forehead. Elias Finch frantically hammered at the keyboard, a thin sheen of panic coating his face. "Temporal flux stabilizing marginally, Dr. Thorne," he reported, his voice strained. "Marginally isn't good enough, Elias," Thorne snapped, dodging a stray energy blast that sizzled past his ear. The Martian Timeline Projection flickered violently, showing scenes of futuristic skyscrapers collapsing under a relentless aerial assault. "That Resonant Frequency Amplifier, it's far more advanced than anything I designed." "The Omega-7 diagnostic flagged a secondary temporal signature," Elias interjected, pulling up a complex series of graphs. "It's interwoven with your drone schematics, Doctor, but it predates them significantly." Thorne froze. The implications were staggering. A temporal echo of his own designs, originating before he even conceived of them. It defied logic, shattered causality. "Show me the transmission," he demanded, his voice a low growl. The coded message materialized on the screen, fragmented glyphs and sequences of numbers that seemed to writhe with an unsettling energy. Elias worked feverishly, bypassing encryption layers. "The translation isn't complete, but I've isolated key phrases." He paused, his fingers hovering over the keyboard. "Obsidian Key, Loom of Ages, Watchers." Thorne felt a chill crawl down his spine. The terms resonated with an unnerving familiarity. They felt ancient, like echoes from a forgotten history. "Run the Weaver's Gambit analysis," he ordered, his gaze fixed on the Martian Timeline Projection. The destruction unfolding on the holographic cityscape felt almost personal. The Weaver's Gambit protocol initiated, pulling up a series of diagrams and texts detailing an ancient Sumerian contingency plan. The plan, ostensibly designed to avert the catastrophic societal collapse, involved manipulating temporal anomalies and constructing elaborate resonance fields. The diagrams depicted complex geometric patterns strikingly similar to those he's been using to stabilize the Chronarium's core. The Gambit's parameters, they're aligned with the Martian timeline. Elias gasped. "It's as if someone deliberately engineered this destruction." Suddenly, the alarms blared, escalating into a deafening cacophony. Automated defense systems activated, unleashing a barrage of energy pulses towards the Martian Timeline Projection. "Containment breach imminent," a computerized voice announced. "Temporal instability exceeding critical thresholds." Thorne whirled around, his eyes scanning the laboratory. The armored figures were advancing, their ornate masks obscuring their faces. Their movements were precise, robotic, utterly devoid of emotion. "They're trying to reset the cycle," Thorne realized, his voice barely a whisper. The masked figure, their armor gleaming under the emergency lights, stepped forward. The resemblance was undeniable, chilling. He saw his own eyes staring back at him, cold and calculating. The figure raised an energy weapon, its barrel glowing with an ominous purple light. "You cannot stop what is inevitable," the masked figure said, his voice distorted and synthesized. "The Loom of Ages demands balance. Your meddling has disrupted the natural order." Thorne felt a jolt of recognition so profound it almost knocked him to his knees. "Who are you?" he demanded, his voice trembling. "Why do you know so much about my work?" The masked figure smiled, a cruel, mirthless expression behind the mask. "You will understand in time. The Watchers are always watching." Elias frantically tried to reroute power to the Chronarium's core, battling against the rapidly escalating temporal fluctuations. "Dr. Thorne, the lockdown sequence has initiated. We need to get out of here." "No," Thorne said, his gaze locked on the masked figure. "I need to understand. I need to know why." The laboratory shook violently as a wave of energy pulsed outwards. The Martian Timeline Projection dissolved into static. The laboratory plunged into darkness. The last thing Thorne heard was Elias's desperate cry and the echoing voice of his doppelganger. "The cycle begins in you." The emergency generator sputtered to life, bathing the Chronarium Laboratory in a weak, flickering light. Thorne lay on the cold, metallic floor, his head throbbing. He pushed himself up, disoriented. Elias was nowhere to be seen. The observation console was dark, the Martian Timeline Projection done. He stumbled towards the laboratory's main exit, the heavy blast doors sealed tight. A message scrolled across the internal comms system: Chronarium core lockdown. Level 5 authorization required. He didn't have that level. He leaned against the door, his body trembling with exhaustion and a growing sense of dread. The masked figure's words echoed in his mind: "The Watchers are always watching." He felt utterly lost, adrift in a sea of temporal paradoxes and ancient secrets. He noticed a small, almost imperceptible inscription etched into the metal beside the blast door. He brushed away the dust, revealing a series of unfamiliar symbols. It felt familiar. He recognized one of the symbols, an Obsidian Key. He touched the key symbol, and a section of the blast door slid open, revealing a hidden passage leading into the darkness. A single, flickering light illuminated a winding staircase descending into the depths of the underground research facility. He hesitated at the entrance to the passage, the weight of the unknown pressing down on him. Was this a trap, or a chance to unravel the truth behind the Martian disruption, the Weaver's Gambit, and the identity of his doppelganger? He took a deep breath and began to descend. The Obsidian Key servants his only guide in the labyrinthine darkness. The fate of the timeline, perhaps even the fate of humanity, might depend on what he found at the bottom of those stairs.